Hi, my name is Matin Shaikh and I'm an online fitness coach with Fitter. I am 31 years old and I'm based out of Nagpur. Today I am going to share about my journey as a trainer at bodyandstrength.com. I am going to share about the challenges, struggles, problems faced by my clients and what they did to overcome everything. I'm also going to share about how rewarding this journey has been for me as a coach and why I did become a coach. So let's start. So how did I pick up training as a career? We have to go back to like 7 years back, where I was transforming myself, and I was always fascinated by the trainers, flow trainers there, and how they were helping people and all. So I started researching like how to become a trainer. Like I started researching about the courses and all, because I'm always like get education and everything, right? So unfortunately I couldn't, there were many courses, but there was nothing which could align with my timelines. All of them required me to be present online and not present offline, and that's how the problems were. So I somehow kept it in my to-do list, but I kept continuing my journey as a fitness enthusiast, but I was not able to pick it up that time. Then a few years later, Fitter came online, and that served my purpose. Like it came as it came at the right time for me, and from then on, I've been part of Fitter like for over 4.5 years now. So I was always inclined to help people get transformed, if you're like or maybe make people aware of there are a lot of obesity related issues which many people are not aware, or probably they are aware, they are just neglecting it because they are not able to do anything which is which is simplified. A lot of people see fitness as something which is very complicated, which actually it is not. So they start neglecting it because they think it's something special. If you need to do something special, it's not. So that's what actually triggered me to pick it up and start helping people around, start helping people for actually free initially, and then basically it's just that it's just to remove that misconception which people have that fitness is complicated. You need to eat boiled chicken with no salt, or boiled vegetables. That's not fitness. That's just copying some random fancy trainers out there. Fitness is all about making it sustainable, making it customizable, right? So that's what actually triggered me to pick it up as a career as well, so that I can help as many people as possible to make them aware that how easy it is. It's not that complicated which people make it out there. So that's my primary reason of why I actually took this up as a profession. Regarding the client transformations, I have coached roughly 1100 people so far. I'm going to talk about two specific cases. So first one is Ganesh Sahu. So this guy came to me with decent amount of muscle mass and with some belly, with no abdominals, and he had a goal like to build some abdominals, or rather show off his abdominals, and that was basically his goal. So he we started training. So difficult part with these guys, it's good thing is they do have slight knowledge, but it gets very difficult for some of the guys to forget things which they already know. So this guy is like you tell me even to eat bricks, I'll eat it. So he was that dedicated. So we started training, and over the time his goals actually changed. He started thinking about competitions. He participated in all natural competition. Then his overall lifts also improved, like his PRs, where PRs basically the personal records in the lifts like deadlifts, bench press, squats, all three were improved drastically. and his overall body composition also improved. But yeah, that is one of, he's like one of he's at most dedicated when it comes to listening to the coach and following it to the T. Second one is Namrata Rai. Now again, she came to me not to like lose weight, or she already lost a lot of weight before she reached out to me. And it gets slightly difficult with such cases when you have already lost so much and you have to you want to lose the last bit, and even on top of that you want to gain muscles and abdominals and all those things, right? So yeah, it was a challenge, but eventually we did it, and she's like again one of my most dedicated mentees ever. Yeah, you can even listen how she transform herself in the next part of the video.
Hi everyone, my name is Namrata. I just want to share my life-changing experience after enrolling under Matin. Back in 2017, I was very frustrated. I didn't like the way I look. I wanted to get back my flat tummy, which was impossible that time after having 2 C-sections. I found Matin by a fitter, and after going through amazing feedback from his previous client, I decided to enroll under him, and it was the best decision of my life. From eating boiling food and no carbs diet to eating all my favorite foods, rice, chapati, everything. And from cardio to weights, I just loved it. The journey was beautiful. Day by day, week by week, month by month, I was progressing, and I started enjoying the process. I started loving the lifting. His constant support, his motivational talk never let me feel down. His knowledge and guidance built a fitness passion in me. I saw a different version of myself, which I never thought I had in me. And the person who saw this before me was my coach. After losing big amount of fat, I started powerlifting, and always look back what my coach taught me about diet, about my posture, my technique, what kind of exercise I should do. And today I'm living my dream of becoming a national level powerlifter and a fitness coach. So thank you so much, Matin, for changing my life. Thank you.
So yeah, I think the challenges were basically so since you are not overweight, you are not like obese, in the obese category, it is difficult for such people to see results faster. If you're obese, like if you're like 100, 110, it's easier even if you start walking around. Okay, so even if you start walking around and if you fix your diet, you will initially lose numbers as well, and you will feel better. But with people who have already trained for some time, it gets slightly difficult when it comes to patience. Again, not something which is impossible for sure, but comparatively it gets difficult for such people. And right amount of counseling and education is also important that time, so that they don't go off track and they understand what exactly they are doing and when they should expect the results and all. So that was done while I was training them. So yeah. So one of the most challenging things I feel while training clients is they always look out for motivation. They'll always be like, I need motivation to do this, I need motivation to do that, I need motivation to work out, diet and all. That is not so yeah, it's a challenge, because everyone is like they wait for that motivation to start training. I tell them a very simple thing, and I have to do this for all my clients, and yeah, I happily do it because that's something very important. So I ask them, do you need motivation to brush your teeth in the morning? They're like, no. I said, why? Because they said it's necessary and it's been a habit, and they just wake up. They don't even consciously take that decision. They wake up, they brush your teeth, and they start your day that day. So I said, exactly. So you do that because you think that's important for your oral hygiene, right? So what about fitness? What about the diet? What about the workouts? That is also important for your internal hygiene, right? External hygiene, again, that is subjective, but more than that, how you feel internally is something very important. And for doing that, you cannot do this as a special activity. You cannot do this as something, oh, this is something special, and I need to I need motivation, I need to watch this video or that video, I need to read books and all to get motivated. No, it doesn't. I mean, once it becomes a habit, then it gets much easier. So the challenge is to make my clients change the outlook towards how they look at fitness. You have to look at it as something which is necessary for you. It's not something which is like for 3 months, 6 months, 4 months. No, it's something which you need to do it lifelong. Okay, and you need to follow something which you can sustain. I mean, obviously, if you're following, if you don't like broccoli, and if I'm including broccoli in your diet, that is not sustainable. That is not something, that is not fitness. That is, again, that is your coach making your life a little difficult. So you need to make sure you are following something sustainable as well. So that is one of my challenging part, to change that. So changing the outlook completely is something very difficult, be it anything in life, right? So that is my first task. Like when someone enrolls, that's the first thing I get in touch with the client, and that's the first thing I see. Like, we have to change the outlook towards fitness, and you have to look at it as a habit forming activity, and not just a 3 months or a 6 months crash course. So yeah, that's my one challenge, and and most of the clients, they do understand what I try, because I do make sense that time, and I hope I'm making sense right now as well. So how do I manage my time? Okay, that's a good question, because that's one of the most asked question, because I do manage a lot of different work profiles. I'm a software engineer as well, I'm a perfumer as well, and I manage, and I'm one of the top coaches of it as well. So how do I manage? So it's something. So you'll have to manage. You'll have to excel the art of multitasking. Now again, it's an art. Multitasking is not something which is meant for everyone, and it is something which many should not even do it. It's not, if it's not required, then why do you need to do that, right? So yeah, because many people, they try to do multiple things at the same time, and they screw up everything, and that's not how it is. So when you're multitasking efficiently, you have to do well in all the things and whatever you're involved with, right? So to answer this question, it's you have to get into the habit of like if I'm an online coach, I have to text faster. I cannot just, I mean, if you check my average typing speed, it will be much faster than a normal user, even normal Instagrammer or WhatsApp user or something like that. So that is something which sounds a little crazy, but yeah, that really helps. That you need to respond, send, come back to the original chat window, and then you again manage your other clients. So one answer, if I must say one thing which you need to take care of, is excelling the art of multitasking. That is something which, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time, because it is not something which you're gonna do it like tomorrow or day after tomorrow. It will take some time for you to practice that, and it's like any other practice. The more you practice, the better you get at it. So but yeah, do figure out whether you really need to multitask or not, because many people, they just do it for the heck of it, and they don't even need it, right? So yeah, managing time it's something, again, if you're doing something out of passion, you will not have to manage time. Okay, you manage your time because if you're doing it out of passion, you will do it without thinking twice, right? And then you will manage your personal life, you will manage your friends circle or whatever it is, right? So yeah, you'll have to practice more on the multitasking part if I'm strictly talking just about the profession. So when some of my clients don't get the results, who do I think is responsible? Now again, there is no one answer to this, because there are a lot of permutations, combinations which we need to take care of. Now first thing I do make sure is if the client is actually following what I said. Like if I've told the person to measure 50 grams of rice raw, I confirm again, like, are you measuring it raw or are you measuring it like cooked, right? So that is again very basic thing, but I do take care of all these precautions if the person doesn't get the results, because that is something which you need to make sure that as a coach you're making sure that your client is like following exactly how it is. So once that is ruled out, and if still the client doesn't get results, then I have to so there are a lot of factors which I try to educate my clients as well in the very first call. That is talking about genetics and metabolism. Now metabolism you can fight for a few months and work on to improve that. Genetics you cannot, unfortunately. So if your genetics doesn't support faster results, then you have to accept that. That is the difficult part. Like you'll have to respect and accept your genetics and then work with it, right? You cannot just neglect and then get frustrated and leave everything. If your genetics doesn't support, then you have to make sure that you accept that fact and then work with it. Because what happens is, I'll tell you one case. So one of my clients, she enrolled for 3 months. She lost 0 kgs. She was like 80 kgs and 5'8" height, and she wanted to like lose few kgs and fat around. She lost 0 kgs, no fat reduction, nothing, in 3 months. Okay. Then I figured out that her metabolism has been damaged over the years because she was under eating, she was crash dieting she did that for years, and it has impacted her body like for a very long time. And I counseled her that way. She renewed the package. 3 months, again 0 kgs, no fat reduction, nothing. 6 months, no fat reduction. Like that she kept on renewing, and 1 year passed, 0, nothing. I know it sounds very because in some cases like hers, we might even need to put her on calorie surplus, like where she's eating a little more than what she is burning, and she actually put on 1 to 2 kg, something like that, after a year. So it took almost a year to reset her metabolism, and then in the next 6 months to 1 year, she lost roughly 10 kgs, 10 to 12 kgs or something like that. So if you tell me, so Matin, is this like only the 6 months transformation? No, it is actually 1 year and 6 months transformation. That's total like 18 months transformation. So that is something which we need to figure out. So it's not just about if I am giving the diet and training, and if you're following it, you're not getting the results, it's the coach's fault, or it's like your fault of not following it. There are a lot of things, a lot of permutations and combinations involved as well. So we need to take care of these things as well. It's not just diet and training. On top of genetics, metabolism, stress also plays a major role. So if you're stressed out, it will create a lot of issues in your progress. So yeah, and of course sometimes even coaches make mistakes. So they are not someone like untouchable. So obviously they also make mistakes. But this is my general observation with my clients, that when they don't get results, majority of the time it's the genetics and metabolism. And when I drill down further, some of them even go through a lot of stress during the regime, and that also creates a lot of issues. So before you take up coaching with any coach in the world, you need to set few things right. When I say few things, I mean you need to make sure that, first thing, no matter what you know, no matter how much knowledge you have, if you're enrolling under someone, make sure you follow him or her to the core. Okay, again, if the person says to eat bricks, you will have to eat bricks. As simple as that. Of course you can ask questions, why you're doing this and why not. That depends completely on the coach how to answer that. But yeah, that is something which you need to make sure that you have complete reliability on your coach. Second thing is actually the first thing, that you need to make sure you are choosing a right coach. That is very important. Just don't go with pictures on Instagram, and like if the person has 6-pack, or if the person has a bikini body, just don't go ahead and enroll looking at the pictures. Of course it's important for a coach to stay fit, but also make sure the person has knowledge. You need to make sure that the person understands about nutrition, training, biomechanics and all those things. Because if you just see, anyone can get abs, anyone can get stronger as well over the years, but many people don't do it as a learning thing. They do it out of passion to keep themselves fit, and it's only for them. What has worked for them, that plan is only for them. They probably have not studied it for others, right? So make sure, second point, you choose your coach very carefully. Third thing, when it comes to consistency, again, if you're following a coach, the first point, that should take care of a lot of things. Additionally, what I would like to add is the same thing which I spoke about in the earlier half of the videos. So follow it take it up as something which is not temporary. Take it up as something which is not like short-lived, but it's a habit forming thing. Like, you have to change your outlook towards fitness. You cannot just see it as a crash course thing. You have to look at it as a sustainable lifestyle which you can follow it for a very long time and not just for 3 months, right? So if you look at it and if you inform your coach that you want to follow it as a lifestyle, then that will be much better, because you need to clear these things with your coach. So make sure you take care of these 3 points and you will have a wonderful journey. So for beginners, so depends what kind of a beginner it is. Like he or she is, like, if the beginner is trying to lose weight, the beginner is trying to gain muscles, right? If the person is trying to lose weight, then definitely the person has to understand, and if the person is doing it on his or her own, then the person needs to understand what are calories, what is quantified nutrition, and when it comes to training, what kind of training the person needs to follow. Like, the person cannot just directly start day 1 in the gym, first time ever, and start deadlifting. That is not how it is, right? So that level of education needs to be there. Now obviously there are a lot of stuffs you can read online and get educated, but very first thing, nutrition tips, or rather the training tips, if you ask me, it's I would rather suggest, first thing you need to do is get educated. Even if you're doing it under a coach, that's fine, but then if you're doing it on your own, then I would rather before start eating or before dieting or before joining the gym, take some days out to get yourself educated. Read online forums, read online groups on how to transform yourself. Read about quantified nutrition. That's very important. Don't just start eating things like broccoli, boiled chicken, egg whites. Don't just fall into that. Like, you have to track your calories. That's very important. Many people, irrespective of your goals, whether you want to gain weight or lose weight, you have to track your calories. That's very important. That's probably the number 1 advice I would like to give you. Training part, don't start with something extravagant. Don't start with something which many for which you need to give at least 6-7 months, because it might be possible that you might end up injuring yourself, right? And that will be more dangerous. So start with something which is machine based, and then you can slowly progress into free hands and dumbbells, barbells and all those things. That would be beginner level advice which I would like to give. When it comes to family support, so initially in India it's very difficult to convince your parents about taking career up in fitness, right? So when I told my family, they're like, they were not convinced, right? So then they said that I trust your decision, go ahead and do what you would like to, but don't waste a lot of efforts. I'm like, yeah, sure. So a few years down the line, I showed my mom all the transformations I did, and she was actually happy. She was like, okay, now I understand what you do. So yeah, I did. I mean, initially also there was a little resistance, but she never stopped me. My family never stopped me from doing it. Yeah, I'm being probably fortunate enough, but there was no reward like, oh, you cannot do that or something like that. They gave me the freedom, and when I showed the result, they are like now 100% sure of what I'm doing, and they are actually happy that I'm doing something nice. So yeah, so I do have my family support as well. So a message for people who want to become a trainer in fitness industry is, first of all, understand your market, like what kind of market you want to target. There are a lot of different fields in fitness, flow trainers, flow managers, online fitness coaches, strength and conditioning coaches, yoga, martial arts, a lot of things, right? So to understand what's your specialty is, you cannot just be jack of all trades, right? That's not something which you would like to be. So that is first thing, that you need to understand what your specialization is. Maybe you're good at martial arts, maybe you're good at calisthenics, maybe you're good at strength and conditioning. You need to understand your potential. So that is first thing. Second thing is education. That's something which many people lack, many trainers lack. It's not just like I train these guys, Ganesh and all. So he can easily post his pictures and write DM for coaching. Right, but he knows that that time he didn't know a lot of things. Now he's getting certified as well, so now he understands a lot of concepts and all. So it's not just about getting a good physique. You can get it done by various means. But the thing is, it's about getting education. That's something which many people they don't really worry about, because they tend to run behind money. Now money serves as a motivation, no doubt, but then if you're just focusing on that part, you will fail as a coach over the years. When I started off, I trained a lot of people for free. I mean, I cannot even count, like tons of people, and it's not like I never bothered for money. But the thing is, it is not something which I was constantly looking at. I was not looking at how many months, how many transactions I'm making and all those things. That was automatically happening. So what I did was, I was just focusing on training that person, on training that client. If you just focus yourself, your entire attention to training that person, what a lot of time what happens is, when the client enrolls, the trainer starts off with all the boom bam and everything, but they forget their clients. They don't really take care of it, and they don't really do the proper follow-ups and all these things. So that is something which is, because they probably don't like doing it. I don't know, if you don't like doing it, then probably you're in a wrong field. So you need to understand your love for the field as well. If you don't love it, then just like any other field, if you don't love that field, you will eventually fail, right? So make sure, if you're taking up coaching as your career, you actually love coaching people. Okay? Because if you love coaching people, you will earn money, you will earn a lot of things. But if you don't love coaching people, then initially you might succeed, eventually you will fail. That's just my experience, and after 4 years, I am earning decently. I have got a lot of respect from people for changing their lives and all those things. And things like, I have one client, she's super rich, she has like everything in the world you can ask for, but she said one thing which has actually moved me even till date. Like, that's one of the moving sentences I've ever heard. So she said, like, I can buy everything in the world, but what I got from you, I can actually never buy it using all the money I have. So that is like, yeah, I think I'm doing something, which creates difference in people's life. So so you need to look forward to such kind of feedbacks. You need to look forward to such kind of changes in people's life. If you are looking to do those kind of changes, then you are welcome to join the fitness industry. Otherwise, don't. Thank you for watching the video at bodyandstrength.com. For more nutrition training related videos, keep watching bodyandstrength.com.